Morning Champions 2024. Jesus Christ. Happy New Year to everyone from Dominic Sky and the Cat Gang. So 18 days left till my first MMA fight. It's not an amateur fight and it's not a professional fight. So it's a semi professional, meaning we got three-minute rounds instead of 5-minute rounds. No elbows and no knees to the head. But there's no headgear, so I don't have that fucking helmet on, and no shin pads, which is great for me because it allows me to throw the low kick a bit more efficiently and the high kick as well. So yeah, 18 days left. What's it? Well, fucking less than 3 weeks. I'll keep you posted. Maybe I'll post a video every single day. I'll see if that's doable. I'll make it happen. If I miss a day, then fuck it. But I'll do my best to keep you updated and also give you a, I think the fight is definitely going to be broadcasted somewhere. So I'll make sure to get you a link somewhere on Instagram or on YouTube so you can watch it live. But in each case, I'll make sure to have that thing filmed, so I'll post it the day after or something like that. Hopefully a high kick to the head. But yeah, Happy New Year to everyone. I wasn't posting much, something happened that was, a friend of mine died, and it's, I just took some time to take it in, because it was a weird time, it's Christmas and it's, you're waiting for New Year's and everything is happy and awesome, and somebody who we have known for 15 years, is gone, and it's yeah, I just took some time to take it in. I'm not gonna go too deep into that. I don't wanna go into death and all that, all those subjects right now in the first video of 2024 Kobe Bryant year. Yeah, it's gonna be an amazing year. But basically, I have 2 sessions today. Yeah, I'm going for again, a full body session, because my left shoulder, I was suplexed by my coach properly a couple of weeks ago, and I fell directly on the shoulder. So that's still been a little bit sensitive. Pulling feels like shit. I wasn't able to do any pull-ups or chin-ups. Pressing feels okay, but still, just to be a little bit smart, I'll take it light. So in general, it's a boring ass fucking session where nothing spectacular is gonna happen, but even those sessions must be done, because then the next week I want to squat a little bit heavier and everything. So I want to make sure I do something today so the body gets used to it, it gets back on track, so I can quickly go and push a little bit harder. But yeah, it's a just mundane, boring fucking session. I had a physiotherapy 2 days ago, so pressing that was supposed to be done yesterday, I'm gonna do it today. So a little bit of leg work, a little bit of squatting, then a little bit of pressing, some deadlifts, and then finishing with some pulling work, and that's kind of the usual. And these sessions, yeah, they're not maybe very exciting, but they're very important. So yeah, let's do a mundane, boring ass session where we're not gonna break any PRs, but we're gonna do it because it's something that allows us to be better the next day and to recover quicker and to get faster towards our goals and shit. Yeah, somebody posted on the previous video I should post more of the warm-up, so I'll just focus a little bit more on the warm-up, so you have a little bit more value there. So yeah, fuck it, let's begin. There was an interesting question on the last video, was like, how do you warm up? The truth of the matter is that you got almost the entire warm up right there. So the more often you do something, the less time you need spending. You need to spend on the warm up. So if you're doing squats 2 times a week, often high bar squat, always high bar squat, then you're pretty much used to it. So the way I usually do my warm-up is I go for a walk in the morning. I still feel like that's kind of the easiest thing you can do to warm up the legs a little bit. I do some horse stance squats, so I'll go into a horse stance position, spend some time there to focus on hip mobility as well. So I usually in the morning I'll spend some time right here in this position, really feel the glutes and the quads and move around a little bit, rotate sometimes just to feel how the lower back is feeling, maybe a little bit of side flexion, and then just spend like maybe a minute right here in this position, because it's great for training martial arts. It's kind of a forgotten art of horse stance squat training. It's great for middle split as well, and overall leg strength and endurance. So this would be kind of my first thing. Then I would usually like just sit down on the floor into a kind of a pancake position. So I do kind of a very short ballistic stretching routine. So I don't go in, oh yeah, 30 seconds here. Like passive stretching doesn't make a whole lot of sense before doing a dynamic activity. So I'll go a little bit to one side, see how the lower back feels, the quadratus lumborum, the glutes, the hamstrings. Actually a reasonably mobile day. Then put the legs here, pardon me, stretch out the glutes a little bit. So just from here, I have very poorly flexible glutes due to freaking 10 years of jumping and shit, and I didn't know even how to stretch them. So basically, just sitting in this position and leaning forward does enough for me. I feel both of my glutes like properly, so this is a very nice stretch for me. For somebody who's more flexible, they'd be like, what the fuck is Dom doing there? But in that case, you can simply put the legs like this and then come forward. Like that's great stretch as well, but for me this one does it. So I do this one, rock back and forth a little bit just to know how the glutes feel, then maybe go into a 90-90 position, lean a little bit forward, a couple of bounces, go back a little bit, take care of the internal rotation of the other leg, just see how it feels. Okay, I can feel already my fucking left knee is a little bit tight there. That was also the one that physiotherapist worked on, so it makes sense. And then the internal rotation a little bit. And shit, like I'm good to go. Like that's basically it. Maybe a pike. Revisit the pike just to see. And then I just go into a squat position. Sometimes just here, bounce a little bit. I would rock the knees left and right, kind of a Dmitry Klokov warm-up. And then also you can go to the bottom position, bounce a little bit there. And maybe this one, I like this one as well, just to warm up the hips and knees a little bit. So you can see it's kind of a modified Klokov routine. Boom, and if there is something I would do also is from here, from the horse stance squat, maybe hold here and then I go for the lunge as well. Just isometrically, actively working. So pressing from the back foot forward, really feeling this glute and coming back just to see how the hip flexors feel as well. Really try to have good posture, push from the back glute, really actively working. Boom. And that's kind of it regarding what I do without the bar. So before that, some walking and then a little bit of this. Sometimes a little bit more. Some days, I'll be honest, I'll just skip this. I'll maybe go just down to the pancake. Boom, boom, see how the lower back feels. Okay, it's good. Glutes feel good. Okay, let's go into a squat and start doing some training. So right now it's time to get under the bar. Let's go. And now for the barbell warm-up. So I'm not doing a low bar squat today, I'm doing a high bar squat because of the shoulder, it will still feel a little bit uncomfortable to be in that position. So for the sake of the shoulder, the high bar squat, boom, I pick up the barbell. Sometimes I just like to see how the lower back feels, so I'll do some good mornings right away. And then we go into the squat position. then I would simply add weight. Usually I would make around 20 kg jumps, so 10 kgs on each side, and slowly work up to the working weight. So today I'm not going to push extremely hard, but legs are feeling pretty darn good. So I might do some heavy singles, but very low volume, so very few sets. All right, let's get to work. Boom. Actually feeling pretty darn good. And then again, if you're squatting, before doing some presses like the typical squat bench deadlift session, it just picking up the plates and all of that stuff, it actually really warms up the shoulders. So that's why I kind of like doing some squats, and afterwards you go for some pressing, because you don't need to do quite as much of a warm-up, which I like. So I did the warm-up up to 120 kgs. Now it's time to do some singles. I actually really like the way high bar squat feels, because I usually I squatted low bar for about 2 years, and I really like it, and I feel like I can push more weight there because you can use your hips a little bit more. Funny enough, when I transitioned to the high bar squat, I maintained my same technique, which is pushing a lot on the hips. Funny enough, that didn't work out for me because I have extremely long torso, and when I would use my hips, it seems a lot of pressure would go on the lower back. And just a couple of weeks back, I realized, let's try squatting on the quads a little bit more. You know, just like a really more quad dominant, kind of like Olympic weightlifter style. Not that all Olympic weightlifters squat mainly using their quads, but some of them do. And man, it feels awesome. Like I really like the way it feels, pushing the knees forward and really staying upright and really engaging the legs. So yeah, funny enough, I really like this variation, and it actually I feel zero strain on the lower back, which is fucking awesome. Because sometimes if I would be a little bit tight, you know, on some days you're just tight, like maybe 3-4 years ago when I would be squatting high bar, ass to grass always. And I hate that obsession with ass to grass squats, you know, and shit. Like, oh, if it's not ass to grass, it doesn't count, and fuck, like that's bullshit. If you go below parallel, you get all the good stuff. If you don't go, you're doing quarter squats, you're doing shit squats. So just go below parallel. But whether you go ass to grass and completely like freaking down to the bottom position or not, well, that depends on your sport and your goals regarding this lift. So I do encourage people to occasionally try all the way down, try going for increasing mobility with lighter weight, go ass to grass. But yeah, sometimes when it comes to my high bar squat, sometimes I'm gonna squat cloak very slowly, ass to grass, completely bottom position. And on some days I feel like maybe my hip flexors are a little bit tight or something. I'm like, let's just squat below parallel and get shit done. And I do believe all variations of the squat, when you go below parallel, it's beautiful stuff. Whether it's Zercher squat or goblet squat or high bar, low bar, more on the quads, more quad dominant or more hip dominant, all is good stuff. Find out what works for you, what you like, or you can even try and explore all different variations. If you're not a competitive weightlifter, I think that's a great idea always, to just get exposed to as many different variations and then see what you like, see what works best for you. So high bar squat today, depth feels good, no glute problems, no back problems. I'll go for 120 kgs, maybe for a solid double, but I actually realized right away, because I wanted to go a bit more intensely on the squat, because it's always nice to go lift more weight than less weight. But man, I got a shit ton of road work to do this week. Last week I went road work as a kind of a boxer's running conditioning work, basically, just to get get the legs underneath you. And basically I did a lot of sprints uphill last week, so I actually, just as I did my warm-up, I actually felt a little bit my hip flexors, not in a bad way, but just felt like, okay, they have been worked. They don't need to completely die today. Because especially today I want to do another road work session, which is a couple of sprints uphill. I'm thinking of doing 5 3-minute rounds later today. And I'll do some sparring as well with Claudio. Just some boxing sparring. I want to see how the left shoulder feels, because like I said, I fell on the shoulder, so still feels a little bit awkward. So I'm training a little bit more southpaw stance. Fight is in fucking 3 weeks, so I gotta figure out a way to throw the left hand, because it's an important weapon for me, with a hook to the head and then to deliver. So I gotta find a way not to use my left hand. So that's gonna be interesting. So squatting a little bit, I'm gonna go maybe a 2x2 with 120, and then lower down the weight. Or do one extra set and then go right away for the pressing work. Because yeah, I gotta be freaking careful having a fight in 3 weeks. I don't want to get a freaking hip flexor injury or back injury 3 weeks before the fight. So yeah, some squats right now. I'm feeling good. Then afterwards some road work, and afterwards some sparring. I'm sparring with Claudio. Claudio is one of my best friends, actually. He's living here. We rented an apartment here right next to the gym, so we can work as much as we can, and we can train together as much as we can. So he's a sales guy, kind of, but he's one of the lead people in charge over the Sky Enterprises. So it's me, it's Claudio, and it's David, my younger brother. So we're working together to make this business work, to have to get as many clients to our coaches who are absolutely unbelievable, and to spread the idea that training is fucking awesome, and it's absolutely amazing, and everybody should do it. And when it's done correctly, it's fucking beautiful, you know. So yeah, Claudio's not a professional when in terms of fighting, but anybody who lives with me for more than 6 months, they're very decent at everything that I do, because they just have no choice. They're just gonna do it. So every time Claudio comes in the room, I throw him a need to deliver right away, no questions asked. If he's not paying attention, I'm gonna throw a freaking low kick. If he doesn't check it, then it hurts. So he's not a professional, but currently I feel like with my damaged shoulder, we spar about once a week. So he's not technically very pretty and shit, but he knows what he's doing. He knows how to defend himself. He knows how to pair punches. He knows how to protect the liver. So it's actually a quite decently fun sparring session with me. You know, I sparred with 3-4 national champions in Ljubljana, Tivoli, and it's fucking intense. But when you spar with a complete beginner, it can still be intense, because they're throwing stuff a little bit harder. But it's an interesting, it's a different game. Like it's a different game, because they don't really know what they're doing. So you do something and you expect a specific response, and you don't get that fucking response. So it's weird. Still beneficial. So very light sparring session today. Light, short strength training session, and short cardio session. So basically sprints uphill, just to work a little bit extra on the conditioning. And then yeah, that's what's gonna be done today. And then hopefully I'll have the time to finish and edit this video, and then you get one video per day. Man, that's gonna be fucking awesome. Today I'm training MMA in a Slovenian Martin Krpan gym in Grosuplje with I think he's officially the best 185 pounder in MMA in Slovenia, Jan Berus, and also the coach Nates is an amazing BJJ player. I think he was a 80cc medalist, which is pretty fucking big deal, and he's a professional MMA fighter as well. So that's the gym I'm visiting tomorrow. Do some sparring, and yeah, fight coming up soon. But fuck it, now I feel like I'm just sitting for too long. Shit, that's why filming between fucking training sessions, like, that's really a specific skill. I don't know how people do it. Doing more than one thing at a time is okay. Yeah, I see already there's gonna be a long ass video, but fuck it. But now I definitely gotta That's the easiest way, guys, to fuck up your lower back. To do a deadlift session, have a call with your friend. You sit down, oh yeah, blah, 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 6, 7, 8 minutes goes down. You cool off, then you go under a bar and fucking shit happens. As I see, shit almost happened. But okay. 120 kgs. First set. Let's fucking go. I'm training without music today just for a, I don't know, I feel like out of respect for my friend, there's just a moment of silence is okay, and yeah, maybe during training I feel like that's an important time for me, so yeah. Ah! Whew. First rep was fucking shit. Second rep, much better. So like I told you, I'm learning to, or I'm focusing on squatting more on the legs. So as I come up, I don't want to drive backwards on the hips like this, but I want to keep the knees forward and use more of my quads. But having very little dorsiflexion. If I mess up the lift a little bit, if I mess up the balance, maybe the bar goes a little bit over, my heel starts to rise up right away. And as you saw, the first rep was much slower than the second one, where my heel stayed firmly on the floor. The balance was good, the barbell was in a good position. Much better rep. Okay, decent first set. One more. Again, lost the fucking balance on the second rep a little bit, but felt nicely symmetrical, not too bad. And if some of you have no fucking clue what I'm talking about, maybe you haven't been doing squats for so often, like what is this pushing on the hips and pushing on the quads shit? So let me show you like this. So a person with very good dorsiflexion, great hip mobility as well, they usually like come down kind of like this, you know, so they have long torso, and just the squat feels like a duck in a squat, you know, like a baby in a squat, and just you come up this way as well. So when you see a kid squatting like this, almost they come down like this because they have such perfect mobility. So when you see a Chinese weightlifter squatting, for example, it's often more quad dominant, so they come down like this, they come up like this. When you see somebody like Clarence O, for example, who also squats all the way down, but his idea of squatting, he goes like this, and when he comes up, he uses his hips, and boom, so it's more in this nature. So this would be more quad dominant squat, and this would be more hip dominant squat. Both are okay, and all the variations in between are okay, because then you can squat low bar, but you can squat it kind of like a high bar squat. So if a person has very long torso, maybe they feel mechanically inefficient doing a high bar squat and then using their hips as well. So instead they'll do a low bar squat and they can still go deep and use some of their hips. So in the majority of cases it happens that a person goes down, whether it's below, let's say it's below parallel, from here on up, if the knee is going to stay forward, this is a very quad dominant squat. If the hips are going backwards a little bit and the person is using their hips more, it's a more hip dominant squat. Both are okay, depends on if it's a front squat, back squat, depends on mechanics, depends on the length of your torso, your femur and everything. But in general, they're kind of like, there's two basic options: squatting more with the hips, or squatting more with the legs, so kind of a more leg dominant squat. So yeah, just something You can notice right now when you watch some Olympic weightlifters, some powerlifters squatting, you can maybe notice some different patterns and combinations of the squat or the hip dominant squat. Yeah. Hopefully you found this as interesting as I did when I first figured it out. It was kind of like, oh shit, there's a lot more to the squat than I thought it was. I thought, okay, I fucking go down and come back up. You do high bar, Olympic weight, the ass to grass, that's it. But there's quite a lot of different variations depending on the body type and what the person is mechanically more gifted for. So a lot of different options when it comes to squats. Definitely takes many years to get a good squat. Yeah. One more set, and then we go for some pressing action. Not perfect, but not bad. Okie dokie, pokey smoky. Now it's time for the overhead press, baby. I would usually do some pike push-ups, but I actually feel I want to just give it a try and see which weight I can press with 0 to minimal discomfort on the left shoulder. Because with pike push-ups, I know I can do them. I can do handstand push-ups as well. That doesn't feel like the smartest thing to do right now, especially before the fight. So I want to see what's my capacity, what's my shoulder's current capacity for lifting some weight. So this is kind of the warm-up set. I don't do any specific warm-up because after the squats and everything and moving some plates around, I already feel like everything is nice and warm, so I just do a couple of sets with the barbell, slowly adding some weight. I actually really like this kind of multi-grip bar, I think it's called, just because you can press in a neutral grip and you can keep the weight a bit more in front of you, which means you're mechanically a bit inefficient, but you really mimic the handstand push-up. And you can still lift a shit ton of weight. So that's why I just feel like it's I really like gonna go very slowly through the warm-up just to make sure. I'm also trying to minimize the arch in the lower back and press in a slightly less retracted position as the usual military press. .40 feels good. I think I'm gonna go for 50 with some paused, very strict and nice reps. I probably could go for 60, but I think for the sake of the shoulder, it's better to just keep it here. Because then yesterday I have an intense MMA session, sparring session as well. So yeah, I'll just take it light. So nothing crazy, nothing too special. 50 kgs, sets of maybe 5 or 6 repetitions, always with added pauses. I really like to add pauses, especially when something is slightly injured or feeling less than optimal, because then an isometric pause in the position can make sure that everything is on point, and as you press, the activation is on point. So it's just much easier to make sure you're not putting more weight on one shoulder than the other or one hip than the other, and just to make sure that the both sides are working as symmetrically as it gets. Actually perfect. 5 reps with a pause actually felt a little bit more demanding than I thought, but makes sense because for the past, I think it's been what? Okay, it's been 3 weeks ago. I fell on my shoulder, so it's been about 3 weeks without any intense pressing. So at 50 kgs, 3x5 is going to be absolutely perfect. Let's get it done. Did 2 sets. I definitely feel left shoulder is not yet on 100%. So I'm gonna do one more set that's actually perfect. So 3 sets, and I want to do some push-ups afterwards, but I think I'm gonna skip it because that feels like just the right amount of time work for the shoulder. Just slight soreness tomorrow, but nothing too crazy. So last set. Let's fucking go. Perfecto. Now on to some Romanian deadlifts. As for the deadlift, nothing special. Romanian deadlift, 100 kgs, 3x6, very light. The reason for it being light is actually because I still feel some pressure on the shoulder if I put a bit too much weight. So 100 kgs feels like a decent stimulus without any provocation. Let's fucking go. Perfecto. So we did the high bar squat, 120 kgs, 3x2, neutral grip overhead press, 50 kgs, paused, 3x5, then RDL, 100 kgs, 3x6, and now I'm gonna finish with some front lever work. I would usually do some weighted chin-ups, weighted pull-ups here, but the shoulders still don't like chin-ups or pull-ups for that matter. So the only where I can get some intensity on the lats and on the back is some front lever work. I would usually do from a hang lift to the front lever position or all the way up, so front lever pulls. But the start of the pull feels a little bit funky, so I'm just gonna go from inverted hang to the advanced tuck front lever and back up. I haven't been spending much time on the front lever the past 6 months, so it's getting a little bit better because my weighted pull-ups have improved a little bit. So on the last session, maybe 4 weeks ago, before I injured my shoulder, I did 40 kgs for a set of 4 reps, a set of 3 reps, and another set of 3 reps, I believe. So pulling has beautifully improved until you fuck up the shoulder and then goes back again. So that you can see that's kind of the problem with the prioritizing MMA training, is every time I get somewhere ahead with my calisthenics, injury happens, and then I'll still continue to spar and to train and do my shadow boxing and prepare for a fight that's up and coming. But then the calisthenics strength tends to suffer a little bit. Yeah, which is okay with me, but it's just it's a subject that's often addressed on YouTube and Instagram. Does it make me sad? That's the question. It doesn't make me sad, but I definitely fucking hate injuries. I don't feel like it's optimal, but as long as I can do MMA and if I can spar, then I'm absolutely joyful about life. So something like a weighted pull-up, back in the day, that would be I would feel that. Now it's more like switching the focus to a different skill or a different exercise, and that's how you adapt and continue to train. But yeah, it would be fucking awesome to go a year without a shoulder injury so I can get my strength back on point, which is, I'm sure this is gonna happen at some point in the next 3-4 years. But yeah, a little bit of front lever work and then some hanging leg lifts, 3x5. Again, I'm going very light on the hanging leg lift just to see how the shoulder feels, because hanging was the one thing that felt a little bit awkward. So I'm just gonna go hanging leg lift 3x5. And considering we got some sun rising up from that fucking fog today, I think I'll go for we got fog and shit, but maybe some sun is coming up. So sprints uphill are next. Before that, we're gonna eat some cashew nuts, about 200 grams of cashew nuts, and then we go for uphill sprints. Let's fucking go. Whew. Not too bad. Shoulder feels good. Just wanted to say one more time, I'm feeling a little bit more spirited right now. After I finished my first session, then my day really, then I feel like I'm true Dom, So I just want to say Happy New Year. I hope you had a nice celebration. I hope you spent some time with your family, with those who you love. And even if you were by yourself, I hope you had a good time. New possibilities are opening up. It's an exciting time. New Year's, it's Kobe year. We just finished MJ year, so now it's time for Kobe year. So I think it's going to be a very productive, beautiful year. And I wish you all the best, all the best with your goals, with what you want to achieve, with your training, with your skills, with your front lever and one-arm chin-ups, and in general with your life. I hope you become even more amazing than you are right now at living life. That's really the bigger game that I see. One thing is the disciplines and being an athlete and all that, but how good are you at living life? And that's something I want to be good at. And because it's so goddamn short, and it just doesn't make sense to spend the time we have here, feeling sorry for yourself or depressed or feeling regret and those type of things. And those days come, you know, but they come so you can learn something, you know, and then you can continue with this beautiful journey. So I just wish everybody all the best, and hopefully 2024 is your year and you achieve many amazing things and create many beautiful things and become even more amazing than you are. So yeah, Happy New Year. Bow. Right now, let's get something to eat and sprint uphill. Fuck yeah. Alright, so it's time for running up a hill. Fuck yeah. I just did this like the first time. It was a proper fucking hill last week at my friend Kevin's place. And man, it was like 25 minutes uphill running, like proper fucking uphill. And I was like, man, no wonder why these Dagestani fighters are just fucking amazing, you know, and in great condition, because you don't really need much. Like a lot of people are abusing a barbell or the bands or all sorts of different contraptions and things to get the heart rate up and to just work on conditioning, while running up a hill or a mountain does the job and you don't need much equipment. So I said sprints uphill. It's hardly gonna be sprints because it's a proper uphill, it's a proper fucking hill. But I'm gonna do 3 minutes, so 3 minutes uphill and then 1 minute of rest going downhill. Hopefully we have enough of a hill to make this happen. But yeah, I'm not sure how I'm gonna film this. It's probably not gonna be the best of shots, but yeah, I'm gonna get it done. Some Goku music and running uphill. Let's go. This is the good stuff. All right, now let's do a couple of rounds of sparring. I did 6 3-minute rounds uphill, 1 minute pause. Beautiful. As for the sparring session we did with Claudio, we did 1 or 2 rounds just freestyle, and then we did a couple of rounds of an old school boxing exercise. I'm not sure if it's Russian or American or what it is, but I saw it when both of the fighters had a foot in a tire, basically. So it kind of forces you to stay together, and then you're practicing different. You have different options regarding punching combinations. So one of you starts. So let's say I start with a 2-punch combo. So as soon as 1-2, as soon as he feels that second shot, he should be ready for counter. So 1-2, and then right away he goes 1-2. And then the person who started has some time, so they're directing the tempo, basically. So you go 1-2, he hits 1-2. Then you see an opening, boom, 1-2, and he has to react right away. So it's kind of on a reactionary inside boxing drill, and it's really nice because some people are afraid of inside boxing, you know. In the distance, yeah, it's all nice, but when the person is here, like fighting in a phone booth, that's not being
it's rarely being addressed in a sparring session unless you're sparring with somebody who's really focusing on applying pressure the whole time, and you decide to accept, okay, I'm accepting your pressure, let's fight on the inside. But otherwise, it's rarely addressed, so that's why I feel like it's an exercise. It's very beautiful, definitely worth doing. You can do 2-punch combo, you can do 3-punch combo, you can do 4-punch combo. Works like a charm. So yeah, if some of you are training boxing or martial arts or combat sports, definitely something you can use. You can use, I saw a tire and then they both have their foot inside. You can use a band, basically like me and Claudio did, or you could just ride a circle on the floor and then have the lead foot in the circle, and then you do your sparring combinations. So that's it for today's day of training. One full body strength session, one basically cardio session running uphill, and a third session of some light boxing sparring just to get the feel back for timing and precision, and see how the shoulder feels. So that's it for this video. If you would like to, if you're interested in my training methods, or the stuff I've learned in the past 10-15 years of training, if you would like a coaching training program, then click the link right here below the video. Last year, at the end of the year, I took some time to create Sky University 2.0, amazing training program for all three levels, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So if you're interested in training like a champion, then most certainly click the link below, and I'll see you there. Yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this. This was probably a long ass video. I hope you learned something, and yeah, let's where do I have a pen and paper? So 18 days left. Tuesday training session finished. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, for another good training day. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Boom. Peace.